Hey everyone, it's Karnak with Star Wars Armada Explained. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be looking at Commander Vanto, or Vanto. Star Wars names are hard. He is an officer for the Empire, which you can see in the bottom left-hand corner of his card. If you look at the opposite side, you'll see his point cost, which is 7, and the fact he is faction-specific for the Empire. Now, in front of his name, you're going to see a little dot or bullet point, signifies he is unique. You can only have one of him in your fleet. His card reads, after you resolve the first command during your activation, you may exhaust this card to gain one command token of any type. Now, for Vantro, I do want to point out his timing window. So it's after you resolve the first command during your activation. Okay, so it needs, when it says your activation, it means that ship's activation. It needs to be physically, its turn to activate, it's revealed its dial, etc. So during that ship's activation is the only time that you could exhaust him to get a token after you resolve a command. Now, I do again want to stress, you need to resolve a command to be able to exhaust him to get a token. Okay, if you don't resolve any commands, no token. So when can you resolve commands? Well, navigation takes place during the determined course step. So anytime that you spend any type of navigation to resolve that command is when you could then gain a token. For concentrate fire, it's any time that you conduct an attack and resolve the concentrate fire ability in that attack window. And for repair and squadron command, those take place after you reveal your ship's command dial and you resolve them. They share the same timing window, actually. So you could do engineering first and then squadron commands, or squadron commands and then engineering. A lot of people have a misconception that you have to do engineering before squads. And I've had some players who are like, well, no, you can't do engineering because you just did your squadrons. You've already attacked. I'm like, well, no, they share the same timing window. So keep that in mind in case somebody in the future is like, oh, no, you did squadrons, you can't engineer. Well, it's like, well, no, same timing window I can resolve in the order of my choosing. And I specifically want to touch on that squadron and engineering portion because I have discovered an interesting timing window opportunity with Vantro. And I'm going to get to that in just one moment. I want to just break down an interesting thing that you can do with him. He's really good, for example, with Piet. So with Piet, it's like, for example, if you got the Super Star Destroyer and Vanto's equipped to that. So I'm going to run through how he works. We're going to say that this Super Star Destroyer reveals a squadron command. So you got the squadron command, you reveal it, the Super Star Destroyer resolves the squadron command. He doesn't have any other tokens. And you're like, boy, I really wish I had an engineering or navigation. Well, you resolve your squadron command. Now you can exhaust Vantro, and you gain one token of any type. So in which case you say, oh, I wish I had a navigation. In which case you then put a navigation token on your Super Star Destroyer, and if you have Piet, you can then Piet that token into a dial. And now you can resolve a dial on your Super Star Destroyer if you need that navigation later on. So I think that's his card. There's no other super crazy things going on with here except for what I'm going to touch on in just a moment. But that just shows an example of how powerful this card can be, especially if you're resolving your first command with an engineering or a squadron, because then you can just take a token of one of the other three, and then if you've got Piet, you can then Piet it to whatever you want, and that helps you in the fact that you're only spending 7 points to essentially accomplish what you would have needed to spend 25 points on a Gazanti to do. Now, there's still arguments of, those officer seats on the SSD are still going to be highly contested. But where are some other places you could potentially see him? Well, I think he's great with large ships, especially ships that are wanting to do fleet commands. It's a great way to get those tokens back without needing to rely on, again, supporting ships like the Gazanti. But that's how Vantro works. Now, let's talk about this unique timing window that I have discovered. And this was the longest part of verifying is because I wanted to talk it out with some other big names and make sure I was understanding I was getting this correct. I wasn't just pulling stuff out of my butt. And you could still theoretically argue that I am still technically pulling things out of my butt. So in Armada, there is a unique timing window, for example, for CommsNet. We know that CommsNet takes place after your reveal command dial step. So after you've revealed your command dial step is when you can then take a token and pass that to another ship. What I have discovered is that in resolving commands for Squadron and Engineering, that just says resolve after revealing the ship's command dial. It does not say after the command dial step. So I'm going to lay this out, and again, we don't know if this was developers' intent or if they're just unaware of their wording. It's already been submitted for clarification, so they'll either come back and either say, yes, this is fine, or no, you guys are misinterpreting this. But as of right now, as what is written, so when it says the Squadron command, it says resolve after revealing the ship's command dial. So I'm going to use this Gazanti as an example. Let's say this Gazanti has Eli Vanto and CommsNet equipped. And boy, you really wish you had some squadrons you could push instead of sending off a token to CommsNet, to another ship that's nearby. So you reveal a Squadron command dial. So okay, so you're in the reveal command dial step, you've revealed your dial. You are saying, I'm going to use this dial. You're still in the reveal command dial step. Now, you are in the resolve after revealing the ship's command dial. So now you are in the technical state of resolving. You're in the after command dial portion, but it's not after that step. It is currently still during. You resolve your squadron command. You push your squadrons. Again, you are still in the after revealing the ship's command dial. You haven't proceeded past that yet. You take Vanto, you exhaust him, gain a token of your choice on your ship. Now you can proceed to the after reveal command dial step, which in technical terms for Armada, you've now proceeded past after revealing your command dial. So some of you might be a little confused about this. And even for veteran players, and this was something that it was a struggle for me to identify again, but we've talked it out, and that is, it's technically legal. Because, again, you have the when you reveal command dial step, or when you reveal command dial, and then you have your taking place after revealing the ship's command dial, and then the after the reveal command dial step. These are each different timing windows, and this can be backed up with how other cards resolve in other situations when it talks about, you do it in this step or after this step. So again, reveal your squadron command. When you reveal command dial, say you're going to use the dial, push your squadrons, which is now in the after the reveal command dial portion. Then exhaust Vanto, gain your token, and then after the reveal command dial step, which again, that's after reveal command dial, you can then CommsNet that token to another ship. That is technically legal right now. Again, it's been submitted. We don't know if, and this is the only time that this has ever been able to be accomplished. No other card has had the ability to ever do something like this before. And I only just discovered it just by when I was sitting down to research this card. I'm like, that's just I mean, it can change how Gazantis have been operating for the Empire, because so far, I mean, they're pretty pigeonholed in what they can do. But if this timing window can be allowed, I mean, that increases the value of that Gazanti by so much more. Because, I mean, imagine it. Not only can it now push squadrons, but it can still send a token off to another one of your ships that needs it. You're essentially doubling the value of that flotilla. And so I feel like this is a great card to be able to still allow that opportunity. But again, go by whatever your TOs or judges say in terms of the interpretation. They may say otherwise. I'm just giving you what was discussed between myself and World's Judge and other regional judges, and we've determined that this is a legal timing window as it is right now. So again, if something comes up and changes, I'll make sure to reshoot this video. But let me know your thoughts. If you feel like I got anything wrong, or I'm coming to wrong conclusions, or maybe you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. Everyone has their own interpretations, what's great about this game. But leave a comment. Let me know what you feel like. And I do appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I got some big news coming up about a project I've been working on. I'm going to try to finish out the remaining 3 Rebellion of the Rim cards that I have, and then I'll jump into that along with other content I'm going to be working on as we wait for the new expansions. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Catch you all later.